understand, brethren, I understand. Well, let me give you an insight into what I think about President Trump and what may be going on there. We have to understand that God does many things at one time. And if you're looking at the healthcare bill that has recently failed, and that's what you're focusing on, you're looking in the wrong place, because there's much more going on besides that, not least of which are the trials and tribulations which President Trump, or which Donald John Trump has to go through, which will bring him to the place where they, I don't know about the full power, but where the designated power of the Lord Jesus Christ will be revealed through him. He's a very, 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 very young Christian. I believe he's about to have a massive, major, born-again experience with the tremendous power of God being revealed through him. But that doesn't happen to anybody without the trials and without the fiery trials and tribulations that purify you. He has to be purified from his carnality, not necessarily that he did anything bad. We all do things bad. We have to be purified from our carnality before God can use us in any great and powerful way. Also, the Lord is trying all of the people that are advising him. Every member of Congress is under judgment right now. The Democrats are under judgment. Those that are more loyal to their parties and then to their country are under judgment. The Republicans that are more loyal to their own personal needs, those that took the Koch brothers' money, to those that voted against the bill for political expediency, you're all under judgment. Even the congressmen that voted against the bill as a matter of conscience, if in fact they were wrong. Maybe they weren't wrong. Maybe the Lord did not want the bill passed. The last that I heard from the Lord was that I should trust President Trump as long as I don't have any reason to believe that the Lord has left him, the Lord elected him, and the Lord is with him and working with him, as long as I believe that it's the same advice I give you about myself. As long as I believe he is still God's man in the presidency, I should trust him, and I should be for his policies unless the Lord tells me otherwise. And the Lord did not tell me otherwise. But please keep in mind, God is working everything together, okay, for many, many people. He's also watching to see the people that have elected President Trump. Will you abandon him because of this first failure, okay? Will you stick by him if he doesn't do what you think is right, okay? Will you weigh all sides and manifest Christ? Brethren, this is a very difficult time. This is a very difficult time. And we need to not be working against God or working against the people that are working for God. We have to be very careful about our pride. So we need to be praying for the man and pray that he makes the right decisions. Every man has a weakness. So we have to weigh everything. We are going to see the negative aspects of the people that are leading us. That's why our faith has to be in Jesus Christ and not in the man himself. That's why we have to be with people, with politicians, with pastors, with parents, with relatives, with bosses, everybody that's in a position of authority. You find the one that God is supporting, and you support them with all of your strength. And when their weaknesses are revealed, you forgive their sins and you pray that God should strengthen them in those areas. This is how a godly person lives his life in these troublesome times. And it's very important that you understand what I'm saying. That you don't decide who you're throwing your emotional and spiritual support behind based upon your own judgment. And the truth of the matter is that the Lord winks. The Lord winks at sins because we're all sinners. So you have to find out who God is supporting. That's what you have to do. Don't go doing a private investigation into their past, whether they fornicated with this woman or did with that or did this or did that. You have to find the person that God is supporting. Okay, today. Okay. So don't be discouraged by this apparent failure because God's judging everybody. Everybody's being judged. And there are enemies everywhere, especially in the Republican Party. He is surrounded by enemies on every side. See? So what does this failure mean? God is in control of everything. Now, I have to give President Trump credit. He is a very, very tough man. You know, but if he were a political hack, he would have done anything. He would have made any concession for this attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare not to fail. He would have made any concession to anybody that wanted it, just so that this failure should not be next to his name. You need to see the greatness that he manifested in this, what looks like a failure, what looks like a bomb. You have to see the greatness of the man in this. And I tried to watch Sean Spicer's press conferences as often as I can. I try to watch them, and those reporters are just terrible. He's doing a great job of dealing with them. So the last one that I saw, they were really asking him, well, does President Trump have a plan B? You know, what will he do if it doesn't pass? Is there a plan B? What will he do? Well, brethren, there is no plan B, okay? President Trump made as many concessions as he could ethically, morally, and realistically make. He drew a line in the sand and he said, I won't go any further. Take it or leave it. See, now this doesn't happen in Congress. This doesn't, our government is utterly corrupt. You have to understand this doesn't happen. So the Congress left it. And what next? There is no plan B. So what does that mean? It means Obamacare stands. And what is the state of Obamacare? It is imploding and about to completely collapse. Did you not believe President Trump when he said we could let it completely collapse and then place the blame where it belongs on the Democrats? But no, we don't want to do that. We want to rescue the American people. That's what he said. Well, we're going to find out whether he's a liar or he was telling the truth, because it's going to collapse. No plan B, no payoff. He went as far as he would go on a legitimate negotiation and said, off the table. No one in Washington does that. The man has nothing to lose. He not only doesn't owe people that have given him money, he doesn't care if you like him or not. He doesn't care about any lying reputation you're going to give him. He doesn't care. He may care whether or not you give him a second term, but not to the point that he will compromise to get it. What do you want to know what he cares about? He cares about fulfilling his promises to the American people. But there was a movie before you were born called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and Jimmy Stewart was the lead. And he was actually an honest man that went to Washington. He was completely uncompromisable. All of the stink in Washington were utterly stymied when confronted with a righteous man. See? So Mr. Smith has gone to Washington, and they're all going to fail. You see? All of the congressmen that didn't vote for the bill because of political expediency, not because it was actually an issue of their conscience. Right? They do not believe that he's going to let Obamacare fail. They don't believe it. They don't believe that he's going to pull the money from the sanctuary cities. See? They don't believe he's going to do it. But he's going to do it. See? Because as I understand it, and I believe he's a man that tells the truth. These people that call him a liar, they just blow me away, that they call him a liar. What did he lie about? He said 3 instead of 4. He said 103 votes instead of 100 votes. I mean, that's a lie? And I don't know why he would do that. Maybe someone gave him the information that he received was not exact. He's not a liar. See? And this is what he said. Yes, this new bill would leave some people uninsured, but Obamacare does not insure everybody either. And when it collapses, the result of a collapsing Obamacare will be much worse than this new bill. So how come they all didn't vote for it? See, he kept saying you have no choice. Why didn't they vote for it? Because they don't believe him. They don't believe him. They think he's like they are. See? I come up against that all the time in my life. People think that I'm like they are. They think I think like they think. They think I'm going to do like they do. And they're always confused with my responses because I'm not like the average person. And neither is President Trump. See? So this is just the beginning. We don't know why this happened. Maybe God wanted it this way. It's true that God is in control, but he does let people do what they want to do. You know? He just comes in the last minute to make sure his final agenda is effective. You know? So I can't actually say God wanted this to fail. Do you understand what I just said? He lets everybody do what they want to do. And when it comes to the final showdown, if things aren't turning out the way God wants it, then he intervenes. Because the ultimate end has to be what he wants. So I can't tell you that God wanted this failure. But I will tell you this. God is watching. He's watching. He's watching every member of Congress. He's watching every attempt from anybody and everybody that I don't even know how the depth of it, that had attempted to influence this vote for ungodly motives. He's watching everybody that's selling this country down the river. He's watching everybody that is abusing every middle-class citizen in this nation so that they can become multimillionaires, if not billionaires. He's watching. See? He's watching. So don't be upset over this. God bless President Trump. We rebuke the witches. And may he hear the wisdom of God. And may his integrity hold. The man has nothing to lose. He's not going to turn. He's not going to turn. He will keep his promise to the American people.